Okay. So bear with me. Many of you already know. Is the sound okay? Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. So many of you already know I have my tradition of reading the Torah portion on Sunday all the way through. I have my favorites that I will, teachers that I will listen to and I will read at the very beginning of the week so that the portion speaks with me during the week. I will have thoughts, ideas, a song that will remind me of something, but trying to do that concept that in our tradition is called living Torah. There must be something about a people reading the same book for 3,000 years in the same order every week, the same thing, the same month. It must have something. And I always find it magical. It's like for me, it works. Doesn't have to work for everyone, but I know it works for me. And among my favorites, like my to-go teachers, I have my rabbi, Shlomo Fuchs. I always read what he writes and teachings that he has been doing for a long, long time. There is one Shaul Yankovich that I listen to him because he teaches mysticism and reads the Parsha through the Zohar, which is Kabbalah, and it's like a spiritual reading of our tradition. And don't get mad at me, my other very, very favorite is Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks, who was the chief Orthodox rabbi of the UK for a long time. He passed away a couple of years ago. Rabbi Sacks comes from a line of rabbis. He is also an academic, a very serious teacher, and he's also someone who talks about society and deals with issues that have to do with the Jewish view of the world that we live in from his perspective. Now, I am a believer that we don't learn only what to do and from people that we agree with. We also learn from people that we don't agree with, but they sharpen our thought. I fight with, he doesn't know, but I fight with him a lot. He says things like, no, there's this other verse. And we also learn things that we don't want to repeat. You can't choose, like, you know, if we would clean up Torah from all the things that you will not agree with, we have like a page, okay? We fight, we kill people, we don't like each other, we complain, we scheme, we sell brothers, kill sisters. So there's something to say about being open to how diverse Jewish tradition is. And on this week's Parsha, there are 4 amazing teachings. 9 minutes on Spotify, go and look for it, from Rabbi Sacks. And even though I think the only sermon that I wrote word by word in my life was the one for my ordination, because we are asked to do it because it will be printed in the book with the people that will be at the ordination ceremony, I actually wrote, which is good for all of you because it's 5 minutes. That's it. It's 5 minutes. I already did the introduction that took a lot of time, but I wanted you to understand where it comes from. Okay? So I will do something that most of you who know me, I don't do. I don't read. But today, I will read. Not only because I bought lovely glasses before I came to Cape Town, but because I need the help. So this is my first Shabbat Chessed. That's the other thing. The other times that I was in Cape Town, Rabbi Greg would be doing Shabbat Chessed, and I would be either at Greenpoint or at West Coast. So, Sheheyanu, I finally made it to Shabbat Chessed. Thank you, God. And Chesed is love and kindness. And Chesed bring all of you here. Now, I have a secret that maybe no one shared with you. Shabbat happens every week. You're so welcome to come. And you will sing with us. Maybe the melodies are not so fabulous and we don't have all these amazing people that rehearse and prepare, but we're here. So come, because if you come, we will be more and it will sound better. So I want to acknowledge that the sanctuary tonight is held by the music and warmth of our Chessed Shabbat. And it fills my heart with joy. The other days that you're not here, I also have my heart full of joy and love. It's just smaller. We're sitting in a very special spiritual window. Just days after Tu B'Av, our tradition's beautiful festival of love and reconciliation, and entering into Parashat Eikev, and getting closer to the high holidays, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. In Eikev, the name of this parsha, Moses stands on the eastern bank of the Jordan River, looking out at the promised land with the people. They are standing on the threshold of a massive transition. A long era is coming to close, and the future feels unknown and completely open. I feel the resonance of that moment in my own life and in ours together as a community and in the countries that we call home and the homeland that we call our land and the world that we live in. Transitions are vulnerable. When things change around us, it is so easy to feel uncertain, to want to retreat or to hold on tighter. I don't stand up here tonight with answers. I am navigating these exact feelings, these exact questions right alongside every single one of you. In his profound essay, Why Civilizations Fail, Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, asked a question that goes to the very heart of Parashat Eikev. He noted that great human societies and sacred institutions rarely collapse from external pressure. They fade when they suffer from what he called a loss of the politics of memory. In Eikev, Moses gently cautions the people, take care, lest you forget the Lord your God, lest when you have eaten and are satisfied and have built goodly houses, your heart becomes greedy and haughty, and you forget. Rabbi Sachs taught that memory isn't just about history lessons. Memory is remembering who we are, why we came together in the first place, and what are the sacred values that anchor us. When transitions happen, our greatest gift isn't panic or blame or guilt. It's memory. It's pausing together to say, look at the foundation that we have. Look at the love that built this house, this community, this country, these people. Responsibility and accountability are not about guilt and blame. Guilt and blame weights us down and isolates us. Responsibility and accountability are simply our capacity to respond to one another with care. It is the quiet realization that this holy community is a living garden, and every single one of us gets to help tend it. The opening word of Parashat Eikev leads us directly to Moses' call to listen. Ve'aya ekev tishmeun, and it shall come to pass if you truly listen. Rabbi Sachs wrote so moving about that, the spirituality of listening. He observed the Western culture is primarily a visual culture, a culture of optics, grand appearances, and top-down answers. But Judaism, he taught, Judaism is the culture of the ear. listening. True Shema is an act of profound spiritual kindness. When we listen with our hearts, we step out of the need to be right, out of the need to be in control, out of our own anxieties. Listening means making room for someone else's story, someone else's quiet hopes, and someone else's worries. Moses learned early in his journey from Yitro, Aaron, Miriam, and the elders that leadership and community are never a solo performance. Real strength is created when we open the circle, when we share the path and listen to one another with deep empathy. Finally, Rabbi Sachs drew an exquisite distinction between a contract and a covenant. A contract is an exchange of services held by self-interest. A covenant is a brit. It's a relationship held together by love, ahava, and the unearned grace, chesed. Moses reminds the people in Eikev that God did not choose them because they were perfect. He didn't choose us because we were powerful or because we had everything figured out. It is not because of your righteousness, but because the Lord loves you that I chose you. Creation itself, our sages teach, was born out of pure chesed, the unearned gift of divine love. We don't have to earn our place in God's heart, and we don't have to be perfect to build a sanctuary together. Tu B'Av reminded us that after every challenge, the Jewish way has been to return to love, not a passive feeling, but as an invitation to joyfully choose to show up for each other, roll up our sleeves with kindness, and build the next chapter hand in hand. As we look towards Rosh Hashanah and the open horizon ahead, we're being invited into a moment of beautiful renewal. We don't need to have every answer tonight. We only need to walk step by step with the humility of the heel, Eikev, anchored in kindness, open to listening, and committed to holding this covenant, this breed together. May we be a community that listens with the heart. May we do the sacred work of caring for one another, showing up for one another. And may we go out into this world and build a future of true chesed with our own hands. Shabbat Shalom.